Okay, I'm going to go over, this is Chess for 1200s. I think this is episode 4. We're going to talk about what to do when you have no time left. So I'm black, my opponent's white. Clearly I have more pieces than he does. I've got a queen, a pawn, a king, and a bishop. He's got a king, but I only got 3 seconds. My opponent up here has 19. So I have I'm basically almost out of time here, and there's no increment. So just think about it. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. That's how fast this game is over. And I have to find a way to win. Now sometimes chess, simple things win games. Now clearly with enough time, you can checkmate this king with all these pieces. Heck, I can do it just with the king and the bishop alone, or just a king and a queen. Okay, but in 3 seconds, I'm a 1300 player. I've graduated to 1300. Yay! I went from 1200 to 1300. How do you, for this low-rated player like I am, it's really difficult to calculate checkmate fast. Now the computer knows it's mate in 3. Now I don't see this during the game, obviously, because this is after the game. So I don't know it's mate in 3. Okay. So I can tell you when I saw my clock here at 3 seconds, I was beginning to get a little panicky. Like, I know that there's a good chance that this is going to be a draw because he has no material to win the game and I'm going to run out of time. The computer will assign a draw to the game in that situation. Okay. I don't want to draw, I want to win. So how do I do it? How to win this game in 3 seconds or less. So what I want you to do is pay attention to this time down here. When I started getting below like 5 seconds, I was trying to calculate how to checkmate my opponent here, Roy, but I realized I wasn't going to be able to do it in 5 seconds. So I just went to simple mode. I went into hyperdrive mode. So watch my clock down here. In many online chess platforms, you can pre-move your pieces. You can just pre-move pieces. You don't have to wait for your turn. You can just move them ahead of time and the computer will automatically move them for you as long as you pre-moved it. Okay, so watch what happens with this clock. We're at 3 seconds. It's his move. He attacks my queen. I make some crazy, stupid move because I'm starting to panic. So I went from 3 seconds to 2.1 seconds. But from 3 seconds to 2.1 seconds, I'm trying to calculate how to checkmate this guy. I realize I'm not going to get it done, so watch what happens next. I'm pre-moving all these pawn moves. He's moving his king back and forth. But look at my clock. Went from 2.1 to 1.8. I'm just pre-moving all these pawn moves ahead of time. I'm not waiting for him to move. I'm just slapping him off as fast as I can. We're down to 1.6 seconds. While I'm pre-moving these pawns, which is easy, I can just push them forward. In my head, I'm thinking, what do I need to do to get my queens to checkmate this king? I mean, I got less than 2 seconds to do it. And I realized that this king is over here against the last file. So I already made a decision I was going to put my queen on this last second to last file here. But I couldn't do it here because he would just capture me. So I eyeballed b4. First I brought this queen over here to prevent this king from moving this way, right? And able to do any kind of moves to get away. Trying to keep him on this side of the board. Or I'm trying to keep him over here. You get to black. I'm trying to keep him this way. Right, trying to keep him up against the edge of the board. So I pre-moved all those pawn moves and this queen move over here, all in less, like you saw how fast it was. It was less than a second, from 2.1 to 1.5. I did that in 0.6 of a second. Okay, let's see what happens next. He moves back. I put my queen right there on the b5. I heard that in the back of my head. I got to get this queen to b5 because I knew from there I could just slide this queen over and win the game. He goes there, game over. Look at the time, guys. 1.3 seconds down here. So from 3 seconds to 1.3 seconds, right? That's 1.7 seconds to make all these black moves. See? Bam, 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 bam. One. Oh my gosh. Hyperdrive, guys. Sometimes in chess, you have to kind of free up your mind, do it simple, and move as fast as lightning. Sometimes the calculations will happen on the fly and you get it done. Other times you won't. This was just one of those times where I was able to get the pawn all the way down the board and get the queens moving in such a manner that I could checkmate my opponent in less than 3 seconds. Now that's fast.